And we're back for another episode of F1 Manager 2022. Absolutely loving this game. I think it's been daily, weekly, that doesn't make sense, Dave. Daily midweek videos for quite a while now. I don't think we've missed one in a long time. It's not going to last, people. It's not going to last. Something will get in the way and there won't be a video every weekday. But we have the Jeddah Grand Prix after a very disappointing Grand Prix in Bahrain where it all went a little bit wrong. And yeah, we're not getting the most out of the car. We're not getting enough from the drivers. It's all going against us, really. We've not got any money. Not many car parts have been manufactured in time for this race. So, yeah, it's a little bit irritating, really. I mean, we got, the chassis is complete tomorrow. So it may be able to go on the car in terms of, zero. In terms of going on one of them, car number one, Alonso, will have all the good bits. He has also got the underfloor on at the moment. We've only got one of them, so we've given it to Alonso because he should be a bit more careful with the car. But going into this one then, let's see what they've said. Reach Q2. Yes, come on. We can get one driver above 12th. Why do they think we're this quick? We are not this quick, and that's not worth it. So let's get out of that. Cancel that. Is it saying one or two? One driver into Q2. Okay, we can potentially try that. We're not going to get the fastest lap. We're probably not going to finish above 12th. Finish position streak is off. Qualifying position streak is on. The qualifying position streak is 14th, which is where we had Fernando Alonso in the last race, so that's not too bad. Right, I'll go and do practice. We'll be back for qualifying as per usual. Okay, practice complete into qualifying. We are ready to go. And yes, all very good. 99% confidence for Zhou, 100% confidence for Alonso. He's also getting used to the new car parts. They've both got all their bonuses. They couldn't be in a better position to do this. All we need to do is make sure we get the racing components on the car. None of this practice nonsense. We put our racing components back into the car, which at the moment are looking pretty good, but so are everyone else's. So it's going to be, it's not going to give us too much of an advantage, but you never know if they're coming in with 80% stuff and maybe some people are in 70%, like for their gearbox or something. Then you may get a little advantage out of it. But right, we are ready to go. We need an improvement from Zhou. He wasn't very good in Bahrain. I'm hoping that Alonso can get out of Q2 again. Let's have a look. Okay, we're going to send Zhou out immediately, like straight away, to see what the circuit's looking like when the AI are going to go out. Hamilton goes out early. Loads of crashes. Russell and Gasly crashed into each other. Both got a penalty. Leclerc crashed in P3 as well. So quite a lot of incidents in the practice sessions. Gasly comes out in front of Zhou, and we're going to send out Alonso now, just behind Nico Hülkenberg. So Zhou is 1.5 seconds off Max Verstappen. Okay, that's not ideal. Alonso goes much quicker than Gasly, Hülkenberg, Zhou, Stroll, Schumacher and Ricciardo, who I imagine hit some traffic and all of that. So let's just quickly reduce the time. We're not going to do anything spectacular. We're just going to quickly get them on to new sets and get ready for the big exodus from the pit lane. So I wouldn't mind figuring out how to be the first person to go as well, because you get that clean air, which does mean you would be quicker. But right, let's let everyone come back in. Or are they doing some people are doing multiple laps, which you don't see very often. So a 1:28 is what Verstappen's done it in, so we're looking at around about a 1:30-ish, a 1:30, so 1:30 to get round on a quick lap. It'll probably be about 2 minutes to get round on a slow lap, so around about 2:10 I reckon we go out, 2:10, 2:20. We'll see when everyone else starts to move. I feel like that's not a bad decision to do. Yeah, everyone doing quite a few laps here with some cooldowns and some then resets and then coming back in. Maybe that is a strategy to remember for next time on these sorts of laps. So people are already going. People are already going out. It feels like it's really early. It feels like it's really, really early. Hamilton's going to get the clean air. We're going to send Zhou out there. And then we're going to send Alonso out there. And has Alonso got the back? He has. Alonso's got the back. I'm hoping Alonso is going to be within time. It's about 2 minutes and 5 seconds, so it's going to be very, very tight. As Alonso comes around, he's easily going to make that. Okay, here we go. On board with Fernando Alonso for this drive around Jeddah. As there we go, 10 seconds to spare. He gets his lap time started on the street circuit of Jeddah, which I'm looking forward to, actually, as yeah, Zhou is in front of... I think we had a decent race here last time, if I remember rightly. I mean, I assume Lance Stroll crashed and Seb got us some points, but obviously now with the update and the strategy change and the tyre deg change, it's going to be a little bit harder, to be honest. But we have got Alonso in completely clean air. We timed that really well. Zhou, I think, also has quite a lot of clean air as well. He does. Green Sector 1 for Zhou. A yellow Sector 1 for Alonso. He really isn't qualifying very well for us at the moment, Alonso. I know he got into Q2 last time, but yeah, he needs to improve on this. Hamilton over the line in 5th. There is an absolute procession of cars just about to come over the line. So if we can... I mean, Perez is massively getting held up by that Williams, which is really going to affect him. Who else have we got coming over? We've got Sainz just about to come over the line, I think. He's coming around the corner. Where is Russell? Russell crosses the line. Lots of different times happening here. Where's Zhou? Zhou can't be too far away. He's going to come around the final corner. He needs some improvement. Vettel and Ricciardo really not setting great time. Zhou is on a double green here. Zhou is over the line. It's not good enough. It's 1.76 off. Alonso, who's going to be the last one to cross the line right now, is already into Q2, and he improves to go 13th ahead of Ocon and Vettel in the Alpine. So maybe the new components that we fitted on Alonso's car have made a little bit of a difference there. But Zhou is out again, 18th, only beating the Williams. He really needs to improve. As soon as we get those new components on his car, he might be in a good position. So Alonso goes into Q2. We're going to send him out first time off on a used set. We've actually got a soft there that we didn't use because they had to be used. For in-driving runs to Q3 and qualifying teams will also return additional set. Okay, so that would actually be for Q3, which you never know. If we get an early lap out and there's a safety car or something, or someone hits the wall and there's yellow flags, then we could be in a decent position. And with that in mind, we're going to send Fernando Alonso out straight away because I am very worried of yellow flags around this circuit. Gasly's going to mess this up, as is Bottas, as Alonso is probably going to catch them down these DRS zones. He easily gets past Bottas and sets a 1:29.3. That's really not a bad time, I think, for Alonso. Gasly goes quicker, but not by much. Bottas goes quicker by 6 tenths. Sainz, we're only 6 tenths off Sainz. A second off Verstappen. Okay, it's not all bad. It's not all bad. Can we get out? If we confirm that, just quickly reduce this time. Stay on the map. 7 minutes. I don't think we'll be able to get out on a used set again and then come back. So, but as you can see, it's a decent time from Alonso. Lots of people behind us in the time frame at the moment. Now we'll just put the fresh sets on and get back into the map and just wait for everyone to come home, and then we'll go and do a fast lap. Although Hamilton will go ahead of us, you would imagine. Yeah, there he goes. Right into 6th and 7th for the Mercedes. But Alonso at the moment is in 10th, is going through to Q3 if there's an incident on track here, as Hamilton is just making his way around back into the pits. So now we'll get ready for the Exodus. I just need to time this right. What I want to do is get out. I want to try and get out first. I think that's what I want to do. But what you don't want to do is go out so early that you hit them then coming out on the way back round. Oh, why have we not put those? Oh, whoa, why is it doing this again? Oh my god, don't do this to me, game. This is very late for you to be doing this to me. It's saying it's invalid. What's invalid about it? Flying laps 1. Car setup's all good. We don't need to change any car parts. I don't understand why it's saying we can't go out again. We'll put fresh tyres on. Is the game screwing me over right now? What's invalid about it? It should tell me. It should say what's invalid about that. Oh, we are going to get royally screwed here. Because people are starting to leave the pits and we still can't go. I don't understand. I don't understand why this is invalid. The game is screwing us here. The game is screwing us. No damage, no damage, no damage. Tyres are good. Car setup's fine. The run plan is 1. Confirm. Reconfiguring. Okay, and now we can go out. Okay, we're not going to get totally screwed. Now we are going to sort of wait here and go. We're going to go behind Lance Stroll with K-Mag behind us. Oh, the game was really worrying me there because I wanted to get out first, like I said. But we're second last. So let's watch this on the TV cam in 2 times speed, as Alonso's going to have plenty of time to get this lap going And hopefully he can set green sectors. That's what we need to see, Fernando. Or yellow flags up ahead would also be acceptable, so that everyone has to slow down and not improve on their times. That would be wonderful. I mean, Gasly to put it in the wall as the leader would be fantastic. Would be absolutely fantastic. So we know Gasly is going to come across the line first. And here he comes. Is he going to improve? 0.73 off the leader. And Pierre Gasly does improve. Jumps up to 6th position. Who's next? Is it Ocon? Or I think it is Ocon. No, it's not. It was Vettel. And Vettel does improve. But now we're going to focus on Alonso, because he's the only one that matters for us. As Vettel improves, but not by a lot. Ocon is still on his lap. Norris improves, but not by a lot. Okay, this is going to be close. This is going to be very, very close. Alonso with his DRS open, flying around the streets of Jeddah. He's going to get to this last left-hand turn, and this is where a lot of times are going to come in that are going to affect us. If we find... Oh, we need to find 3/10 on Ocon. It's 2 green sectors, though, for Fernando Alonso. This could be a very good time for Alonso. 1.457 off the lead. Is he going to improve? He does, but it's not enough. It gets into 11th and then drops down to 12th behind K-Mag. A very, very good lap there from Fernando Alonso. 1.3 off Verstappen. He's put in a good time, and those car parts, I think, are making a difference. And Fernando Alonso will start P12 on the grid, although Gasly's got a place penalty. Gasly and Russell have got penalties for the crash in P1, so this will be interesting to see where we start here. And what have we learnt from the last race? Don't finish the race on hards. So we're ready for the race then. Fernando Alonso starting in 11th, which is good. He's jumped up a little bit. Guanyu Zhou is still in 18th, which is a little bit irritating. Now, you can do a one-stop around here, but I don't think you're going to be able to push those tyres at all. The mediums are going to struggle. If you draw the mediums out all the way, can the hards make it? No, they can't. Wow, this strategy stuff is now really infuriating, isn't it? I sort of feel like there's probably going to be a safety car because Jeddah's so narrow. So I sort of think starting on the softs might be a good idea, because then you change. Maybe if you went like softs, hards, and then can you push those mediums at the end? Oh, you can as well. Oh, that might not be a bad shout. Or do we want to end on the softs, because we know how strong they were last time? I don't think you could potentially drag out, although these hards can go... Look how far those hards can go. I think you could do... If you did soft, hard, soft, that might be the strategy. That's what we're going to go with Fernando. We're going soft, hard, soft with Fernando. We're going to risk it. We're going to risk it for a biscuit with Alonso. And then with Zhou, I sort of am fancying the one-stopper with Zhou, I'm not going to lie. He's starting further down the grid, so we're going to have to try something a little bit risky. So we know we can push on the hards at some point, but I also don't want to finish on the hards. I think we're going to start hards. We're going to go hards to mediums. If we push the hards, get on the mediums there. They don't make it to the end. Okay, don't push the hards. Get onto the mediums late on, and then surely you can run the hards there and the mediums there and push a little bit. Or with Zhou, do we start on the mediums, push on the mediums? Where can they get us to? They can get us to there. Or if you don't push on, hang on, if you don't push on the mediums, you drag them out here. Don't push on these mediums and then go on to a soft pair. Hello, folks. We might be onto something here. I think we're going to go for that, you know. You can't, okay, so we can't push on the mediums, but a safety car means we can adapt these plans on the fly. I don't mind that. Because I don't think you can drag out... Surely you can't drag out 2 mediums. You can, well, you can, but you got to conserve. 2 softs to there. No, so you can't do medium, soft, soft. Unless you... Oh, you're not far off doing medium, soft, soft if you don't push them hard. Ooh, this is tough for this strategy here. I think we have to start Guanyu Zhou on the softs. I feel like that's just the sensible thing to do. Maybe we push with the softs from the off ever so slightly. Get onto the mediums and don't push. That's not going to work though, is it? Oh, UK. We'll do soft, medium, soft, which is odd, which is really odd. Is that what I've got Fernando on? No, he's on soft, hard, soft, and he's going to push, don't push, push, and he's going to push, don't push, don't push. Okay, interesting. We had fuel-wise, I think we do have to put a bit of extra in the car just because of the Red Bull engine that we've got. And again, we are going to push from the off, and then we're going to bring those tyres back in line early doors. But as I said, I'm expecting a safety car. 50% is the chance for safety car, which isn't huge, but I am expecting that. Right, here we go then. So the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, again, is a Red Bull front row with Bottas in behind them as well. That Alfa Romeo is really, really good, to be honest. It is an absolute machine, that Alfa Romeo. As we are watching the start of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. No incidents on turn 1 or 2. Everyone seems to get through. And Alonso up to 11th. Lovely stuff, sitting nicely there in behind K-Mag in the Haas. And he's looking to make a little move, and it looks like Zhou's gone up to 17th as well. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff from these two. What have we got? What are people starting on? A spattering of hards, mediums and softs. It's all a big mix as Zhou overtakes the ex-Aston Martin driver Nico Hülkenberg, and already turning into a procession here as Alonso can't find his way past. Right, let's change our tyres then for now, just to see if we can ease them off a little. Don't back off, that's not what I want, but I do want you to make a move and not push them to their extreme. That's generally what we want, as Alonso is so close to the back of K-Mag, it's ridiculous. Can he get him on this corner? No, we can't. K-Mag just shutting the door. So far, good racing here. What's happening up front? Anything interesting happening up front? We've got the 2 Red Bulls, 2 Ferraris. The Mercedes are in an Alfa Romeo sandwich. I mean, Lance Stroll in 8th is absolutely ridiculous in that Alfa. That Alfa Romeo is so fast compared to the rest of the midfield. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, Max Verstappen leading the way. The next group behind them then is here. It's Bottas, the Mercedes and Stroll in the Alfa Romeo. Behind them is sort of our load, Norris, who is now has Alonso on his tail, who's got K-Mag. And there is Fernando Alonso right on the tail of Lando Norris, making these soft tyres really, really work at the moment, which is good. Behind this group then, I think the next load is just there really. It's probably there. Ocon, Ricciardo, Vettel and Zhou just coming through. Zhou looks like he's going to make the move on Sebastian Vettel. Doesn't quite get it done. And then Hülkenberg is behind with Tsunoda and Schumacher in the 2 Williams. I'm just going to watch Zhou here because he's really trying to close up on Sebastian Vettel there. And he's not doing too bad a job. We have to keep an eye on the ERS just to make sure that we're not going to completely burn through that, as Alonso is right on the back of Lando Norris. So let's just drop this down right now into neutral. We don't have to push all the time, all the way. So yeah, we're in a decent position. And Fernando Alonso has just got past Lando Norris, which is awesome to see. Hülkenberg has re-overtaken Zhou, and DRS is now enabled in this race. So you'll probably see a lot more overtaking happening with DRS, and probably a few more incidents, I imagine, as the cars drive fast around the circuit and get their braking angles all wrong. But yeah, Zhou at the moment he's battling, bless him, he's battling. I feel like we're just destined to have one car that just sits at the back. It's a little bit irritating really, but Alonso's up into 9th, so that's awesome. That's very, very good. At the moment, still to score points this season after one race. We haven't got any points, so hopefully we can get those points scored and on the board pretty quickly. So riding on board on Fernando Alonso's front wing, in the car you can see in front, is Lance Stroll, once of the Stroll family-owned Aston Martin, where I reckon Lawrence Stroll got bored or booted off the board, and that's why we could get rid of Lance, because I don't think it's ever going to happen when he's actually in charge. But we are harvesting with Fernando as well, because we're sitting well close to Lance Stroll. We're well within DRS, and Gasly doesn't have it behind us, so we can afford just to harvest ever so slightly as Zhou overtakes Vettel, and he's up to back to 17th. Ricciardo in front of him, Hülkenberg 2 seconds in front of them. So yeah, again, I love these camera angles that you get in this game. It's absolutely brilliant, to be fair. And yeah, we are harvesting quite a lot of battery on this lap, which is good to see. Let's just dive around the view. So we should have DRS in a second. There we go. The wing opens. We're probably going to catch Lance Stroll, who doesn't have DRS. Oh no, his rear wing is open. Sorry, his rear wing is open. We throw it in to these S-bends. I do love this circuit. It was so much fun to drive on the F1 game. And I think what we're going to do is, if we can charge this battery up enough, we're still well within DRS, which is awesome. And there's a bit of a concertina up in front as well. A bit of a log jam round that hairpin. Let's see, when we cross the line, what are we going to have in terms of battery charge? Because you can see we've not deployed very much on this lap, and Lance Stroll really isn't getting away from us. So I feel like we should be able to keep on harvesting around here. Yeah, you see, like, you get up to 84% just off that first corner after just one lap of harvesting. So we are in a very good position. I'll stay on board with Alonso and manage this. I'm just going to quickly look at Zhou, who appears to be in quite a battle with Hulkenberg and Ricciardo holding everyone up. So we're going to try and get him charging as well. And we'll see if he can make a move in a minute. Because those two aren't pulling away. Ricciardo's really holding everyone up in that train. As Alonso is still well within a second. So we should be good for the next DRS zone. As we come round the corner, 0.639 to Stroll, who is losing time to Hamilton in front. So I think very soon we're going to go on a bit of full deploy, I think, and see if we can overtake Lance Stroll and catch up with Hamilton, and we're going to have that gap. That's the plan, Stan. That is the plan. Zhou still within range of Nico Hulkenberg as well. I'm hoping that our rear wing is open. Yes, it is, so we're not going to be too lost on this one, as Stroll trying to get away, but yeah, he's lost his DRS now, so we're in a very, very good position here with Fernando Alonso. You can just see Lewis Hamilton. It's the Alfa Romeo straight line speed. It's absolutely ridiculous, that Alfa Romeo straight line speed. Right, as we come around this corner, let's go for a full lap of deploy and use the energy. In fact, we'll put it into overtake mode. Okay, copy. Because then he deploys it just a bit on the straight as well to get past, which is really, really helpful. So there we go. We are past Lance Stroll. But there's a yellow something in Sector 3. I think it was just a yellow flag. It's a safety car. It's a safety car. Someone has died. Not died, I shouldn't say that. Someone has crashed. Someone's car has died. But there we go. Right, so we'll get rid of them. And we got just in front of there as well. It's Sonoda. Sonoda's crashed. Are we going to pit? Are we going to pit? So Sonoda is now out. Let's have a quick check of the strategies. We've got a long way to go. I don't think the only thing we could pit for potentially is to get Zhou onto a set of hards and go hard to soft from now and get that early pit stop done under safety car. Still finish on the softs. Probably drag them out a little bit more as well and then push a bit. Or do we leave it? I think we go like that and we then manage those softs and we've got a little bit to play with in the hard. I think we will do that. So Zhou is going to come in and pit under safety car. We're going to mix his strategy up a little bit. Oh, it's tough because the softs will go, won't they? The softs we were going to go to around about lap 10 on the softs. Oh, this is a difficult one. Because the softs now are going to go longer because of the safety car. So we were going to pit on like lap 10 there. How are we dragging these softs out? Can they make it? Oh, yeah, I guess they can. So we're going to get some life back out of these softs. I think we move everything by one lap. I think we don't. Yeah, I think we don't change. I think that will be quicker. Would it be quicker? One estimated race time, 1:18.28 doing that. 1:18.28. So if we then went, we're going to come into the hards here. Because the other thing you can do is you could do that and then really push those mediums. And it's going to save us 0.01 of a second, apparently. So it's pretty much mix and match. Unless we go to the softs, don't push. That is going to be a longer race because of the extended time on the hards. So if you go mediums, yeah, see, it's saying it's going to save you like not much, but it'll be quicker to come in now onto the hards. Push them a little bit. Yeah, you can't really push the mediums unless you... Okay, they're saying that is quicker to do that. Can you go full send on the mediums and still make it? You can, but it doesn't help. Oh, do we do that? No, we're going to go soft, medium, softs. I want to end on the softs. We're going to stick with what it is. So Alonso will be pitting on lap 10, although we may get a few more laps out of them. And Zhou is basically one lap after him. Okay, we had a bit of a discussion there about strategy, but all in all now, we're in a decent position. Especially with Alonso in ninth. I'm happy with that. Okay, I'm pretty sure the safety car is in because it's pulled off into the pits. I didn't really get a warning about it, but we're going to act as if it is coming in because I didn't see it. And if it doesn't, then we'll just very quickly change everything back. But we are one lap away, apparently, from Alonso's pit window. But I think we update this. We push that back by a lap and we push that back by a lap. I don't think we're going to be able to push, no. Maybe that stays as it is. And then we just have a shorter stint on the hards. In fact, could we put... I'm sort of thinking let's get Alonso finishing on the softs. Just go medium soft. Yeah, we can't push. If we go hards, though, you can push, can't you? Well, not really. So if we're not pushing, we might as well not push on the mediums. We're going to go with that. In fact, we're going to make this work like that. I think these softs have got enough life in them. And then we'll make those softs work at the end. Right, there you go, Fernando. Your strategy has now changed. So Zhou is now 1 lap ahead of Alonso in terms of strategy. Okay, right. Safety car is ending. We've put everything as it should be. It's an absolute gaggle of cars. Look at it. It's going to be an absolute mess. So let's ride on board for it with Alonso as the race is now underway. And look at those on those hards. Whoever that is, Hamilton, should really be struggling on those hards with us on our softs. Because we are going to keep pushing for a little while on these tyres and just make them work. So Zhou is 1 lap away from his pit window, which we'll probably stick to with Zhou. We've moved it around with Alonso enough. Can Fernando Alonso make inroads here on Lewis Hamilton? It was really good that we got just in front of Stroll on the just before the safety car hit, because that was absolutely epic. So we're just going to rest the tyres a little bit and just give them a chance to breathe. So yeah, you can see everyone else is managing their tyres really well, going to go a little bit longer. If they're all doing 1-stops, we could be in a bit of trouble, but I'm hoping that the fresher tyres that we're going to put on are going to help us. So at the moment, Alonso's on 58. So in theory, his should go before Zhou. We may have to just switch who's coming in when and play this by ear. Right, so Alonso is right on the back of Lewis Hamilton here, and I think we are. I know we're playing around with strategies a lot here, but I think we're going to switch this up and say you're actually going to come in there before Zhou. I think actually let's just go there. That's what, 10, 11, 12. So that's lap 12. And Zhou is going to come in 10, 11. So he would be 12 as well. Zhou's going to push to 13. And we're going to go with that. And we'll see how the tyres do. And I'm only doing that because Zhou is managing his tyres ever so slightly better than Alonso at the moment. Probably because we pushed for a little bit longer with Alonso. But at the moment, I'm happy with how we're doing. Zhou up to 17th, right on the back of Daniel Ricciardo again. And yeah, actually, let's keep that on deploy, because if he gets past Daniel Ricciardo, in fact, let's put it into overtake. If he gets past Daniel Ricciardo, he'll be on the back of Nico Hülkenberg, I hope, with DRS, and then we can leave Daniel Ricciardo for dead, hopefully. Right, Alonso is now still chasing down Hamilton. We'll put him into overtake as well. I'm hoping that we can get something down this long straight here. I know DRS isn't activated yet, but I'm hoping that we can make something work. It's just a big long line of cars. Even the leaders aren't really pulling away from this pack, so we're on the back of a good pack to be a part of here, and that is wonderful to see, to be honest. And we are keeping pace with them. I'm wondering again, if we harvest here?
We need to charge DRS.
No, we need to wait for DRS to be activated before we can harvest. Oh, DRS is now enabled. Okay, so I'm going to drive on board with Alonso again, and we're going to manage his ERS. Okay, we've got some people coming into pit, and Alonso will be joining them. He's going on to the mediums, and he'll be coming in. As you can see, we've lost quite a bit of time to the cars in front, so we're gonna push everything on this lap. We're going to deploy, going to push that as hard as we can. Zhou's got one more lap, and then he'll be in. So yeah, we're getting into the stage of the soft runners pitting. I'm interested to see. Stroll is going on to the hards. We've got Hülkenberg in front of him on the hards. And Albon has also gone on to the hards. So we are going a little bit against the grain in terms of our strategy. But yeah, we'll see how this works out, to be honest. It's a bit of a risk, but we've got to do something different to try and move up the table. And we will be on faster tyres than those people going onto the hards. So I'm hoping we can make something work. But when we're going to pit, we're basically going to be in... we're pitting from 8th unless Gasly catches us. And this is where, look, the hard tyres and the mediums are definitely showing their longevity over the softs, which aren't really a long race tyre, as we all know. So here comes Alonso then into the pits. We'll get into the TV cam for it again. I always like watching it this way, as Alonso does lose a number of places. It is now Zhou's optimal time to pit. He is also going on to the mediums. And we'll see how this goes. Right, Alonso, we need a good stop here, crew. The soft tyres come off. The medium tyres go on. It's a terrible stop. 3.1. That is awful. Crew, team, that is dreadful. We've been working on this. That's shocking. That's not very good at all. Unbelievable, team. Come on. Come on. We've been working on this. Right. Soft tyres weren't too bad there. And drop that back into neutral straight away. And we're still on TV cam, which seems to be bugging out a little bit. So let's get on board with Alonso. Zhou not too far in front of him. We'll be pitting this lap for him. So we should... So we're 8, 11, 12 off that crew. 15, 17... 19-ish. Okay, it's going to be interesting when the front runners pit. It is going to be very interesting. So where is Zhou on the map? Number 14. Oh, sector 2, yellow. It's not a safety car. I think someone's just had a little spin. Someone's ran wide, so nothing too much to note there. Although it was Lance Stroll, so let's have a look, because when it's Lance Stroll, it's always a little bit funny. And yeah, locks up one of the rear tyres. Can't do much with that. Manages to keep it out the barrier, but that will send him tumbling, and he is now last in this race. Only Yuki Tsunoda, who is a DNF, is behind him. Right, Zhou needs a good pit stop here. For this to work properly, Zhou needs a cracking pit stop on this lap. As we're following Zhou, and I've just realised, is that a bug? Zhou's definitely on the softs, and it's showing him on mediums. So I'm going to suggest that is a bug there that we've just found, because he's definitely on the softs. He was definitely on the softs. He's going on to the mediums, hopefully. This is going to show him doing medium to medium, but he's definitely been soft to mediums. There we go, 2.9. Again, it's not the best, team. It's not the best. Right, let's drop Alonso back into the pace he needs to be. We'll keep Zhou on aggressive for now, as there goes Nico Hülkenberg going past him, but he's on the hard tyres. We're on the mediums, and Zhou isn't bottom, but isn't last because of Lance Stroll. So I think it's just a bit of a waiting game now, waiting to see who else pits and when. Generally, we've got a lot of good tyre wear going on here. We ran those softs a little bit longer, so we can push the mediums if we need to, and we pitted exactly where we were supposed to with Zhou. So generally, everything should be as it stands, and it's just a case of what other strategies other teams are doing. So Zhou is going for it on the outside of Nico Hülkenberg with the DRS and gets it done, which is good. I do think our mediums are playing pretty well. We've closed the gap on quite a number of drivers. Sainz is currently in the pits. He's now back out on the hard tyre. So can he get those to the end? Not sure. But Alonso's up to 15th, and there are a lot of people in front of him that are going to be pitting soon. So hopefully the undercut that we've done there is going to work, and these tyres just see it through until we go back onto the softs with both drivers, which would be absolutely epic, to be honest. And here we go, a whole raft of people pitting as Alonso makes a move on Schumacher. As we're going to come round this corner, I'm sort of thinking, do we just push one lap of full push with the tyres? Because we are in this position now where everybody else is pitting, and we need to try and put some space between us. So Alonso comes out in 10th. Okay, he comes out in 10th. I think when I said we pitted, I think I said we were 9th. But Hamilton, Vettel, Ricciardo, Verstappen, Leclerc and Perez have not pitted yet.
We're happy to push the tyres.
So, yeah, it's an interesting position to be in. We're going to do one lap of pushing the tyres, because it will affect how long they can last.
We can push a bit more.
And let's actually deploy all of our battery as well. We're going to properly push and go for this. 1, we need to close the gap up to Bottas. And 2, whilst everyone else is having their pit laps, we need to really make this work. And at the moment, Alonso's having a good drive. I'm not upset at the moment. He's having a very, very good drive. I assume Gasly will catch us on fresh hards, but yeah, you never know. You never know, to be honest. We are doing a good job here as Aston Martin. 10th and 15th. Not bad. Leclerc pits. So Leclerc is in as well. More people are now pitting. ERS battery is empty, so we've pushed that to its maximum. We'll have to get that down to neutral as we charge, we deploy, sort of thing. And Zhou's going to get the same message in a very similar place on the lap to Fernando Alonso. Right, now we've done that lap on full push of the tyres. We go back to neutral.
Drop back a bit.
And we'll get... That's why I'm assuming Gasly probably will get us. Although we have broken a second to him. And we'll get Zhou back on standard as well. And again, now it's just a case of managing it as we go. And hope that we've... the strategy's worked and the undercut is going to work. Because there are, again, a number of people in front of us that are going to have to pit. Okay, Fernando Alonso's done a great job. We let Gasly pass and we've been managing his tyres and his ERS behind Gasly. And we're in a very, very good position here that we can actually afford to relax a little bit on our tyres, sit behind Gasly even more, and just sort of get him to pull us along a little bit while we're managing our tyres. As long as we stay within that second, we are getting pulled along by Gasly, and it's wonderful until we've got our full battery, and then we can absolutely send it. And I'm confident that we're going to get him and leave him for dust, to be honest, because there's a big gap in front of him. So as soon as we get DRS and we get the chance to pass, we're going to be in a very good position. He extends it out here, and then we get another DRS zone, and it's like really, really good for us. He can't quite break that second. Sometimes he deploys off the corners, like now. So 0.957, 1 second. He may have just got out of DRS there, which means all we do is just deploy a little bit of battery.
So use energy.
Just deploy a little bit that we've been charging up. We're still going to be net positive at the end of this lap when we charge up again. So 1.242, we're bringing it in, 1.254. Into this little section here we can deploy some battery and hopefully rein him back in. 1.277. It's interesting. He is maintaining a gap, Gasly, now. Maybe he's deployed his battery. I think he has. The little cheeky bastard. Because we're not going to get DRS on this lap. So I think we're going to stay and deploy and see if we can get in. So 1.385. I mean, we've absolutely reeled him in on that corner. 1.241. Yeah, okay, we're going to get him back. We're going to have him back by this lap. So we'll be back in range. Again, especially if we deploy here. So it looks like Zhou is in a battle with Ocon at the moment, which is good for Zhou. Good experience for him, for sure. As we should now be back within a second round these corners, I'd imagine, the way we're deploying the battery. We're trying. It's fluctuating a little bit. 1.015. Come on, Fernando, you've got this. Don't make me push the tyres. Oh, someone spun. Yellow in Sector 1. Who is that? Is it one of the leaders? It doesn't look like it at the moment. Signs. Let's go into TV. Who is it? Russell seems okay. Vettel's okay. Ricciardo. Gasly. Everyone's all right back here. Who has spun? I mean, that can't be good. That's surely someone there. Is it Ocon? Maybe it's Ocon. I think it's Ocon behind this wall. Yeah, it is. Ocon is tumbling down the order. And, oh, he has hit the barrier, but is it going to be a safety car? Or is it, oh no, Ocon is back, but it's a Sector 1 yellow flag. Okay, Alonso, back to the battle with Pierre Gasly, which we were reining him in, but he seems like he's found a bit of pace somewhere from Pierre. Okay, Pierre had got away a little bit, but now we've caught him up, and we're actually gaining with Gasly. We're gaining on this Ricciardo in front and Vettel, so which is absolutely awesome. Tyres are doing okay. We are a little bit below the line, so I think we're going to again flip. I'm just wondering, why can't Alonso make the hards, but Zhou can? I mean, we do have another set of mediums we could go to and then push them. I think we will. We'll change to that for Alonso, and Zhou will go. I'm confident Zhou can go. Yeah, Zhou's strategy doesn't need to change at the moment. He's a little bit below his line, but all in all, I think it's going all right. We're trying to harvest again here with Alonso. Zhou sitting in 15th is just about keeping pace with K-Mag. I guess we could deploy and try and make that move, but we're just going to then be stuck in a DRS battle. When you make the move, you sort of have to commit to it. Oh, we're getting a little bit of a lost distance here from Gasly, so DRS is activated. That should help us pull us closer and closer to him, although it's not. How can he still be getting away? Oh, he's got DRS as well. Yeah, he's got it off the back of Ricciardo and Vettel now, so yeah, let's push then. Let's push and not get left behind in that battle.
Use energy if you need it. Use energy.
And we got a chance of gaining a good number of positions here, whilst tyres are still in a good position as well. So the soft, medium for Alonso, which is a bit of a rogue strategy, but we're going to go for it.
We have low battery.
Yep, we know you got low battery, but as soon as you brake on this first corner, you're going to get it back, Fernando. So just keep deploying it. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. So you deploy through here after you get it off those sharp turns. And they're battling up the front. Gasly managed to get both of them in one DRS train. So I'm sort of feeling we can potentially do the same here. We just need to catch up with Sebastian Vettel, who, what tyres is he on? 47% hard. So we should be much quicker than him on these tyres. So again, now we're well within DRS. Let's just leave it to neutral. We don't have to deploy all the time. But we're in a, yeah, I'm not too upset with how this is going, because a lot of people are going to pit again. And we're doing all right. Lap 28. We're not coming in until lap 35, and we've got 47% wear. So we're in an okay position. It's just making DRS count, I guess, and not getting caught up in too many battles. Fuel, I don't think we need to overload it as much anymore. Maybe the way they've changed the delta, it's a lot more accurate in terms of its reflection. But look how quickly we've caught this team up. And look how quickly Gasly's pulled away from Ricciardo. So it is all Daniel Ricciardo that's causing this huge train and this mess. As Vettel gets past the Australian. Can we get past him as well? Dive down the inside, maybe Fernando? No, doesn't fancy it. But we're going to have such a big DRS train right now that I think we don't even need to deploy any sort of harvest here, because we're going to get DRS, which should catch us up probably to both of them, because that McLaren is really slow. It's not going to be enough to overtake, but I'm just wondering, can we just drop down to light just for a little bit and see if we can save some tyres for a lap or two, and then go on a charge in a sec. I mean, if we can overtake them even when we're saving tyres and harvesting, then absolute bonus. Zhou lost the position to Hulkenberg, so he's still battling away with Nico.
You're doing a good job.
You're doing a good job, as your race engineer says. And of course, I think that when the affinity between race engineers and drivers gets better, I think we're going to be in a stronger position as a team as well. You've got to remember, we've just sacked 2 drivers, especially Sebastian Vettel, who had a great affinity with his engineer. So yeah, I'm not, again, it's early days. It's early days. I'm not sure when the earliest point is we picked points up last season, but we went on a little bit of a run after certain points, and that really helped us out. It really put us in good stead at that point. So I've got a feeling we are in a DRS zone. Yes, we are, and we are still hanging on. Yeah, Ricciardo pulls away ever so slightly, but he's not quick enough to really get away from us. So we are conserving tyres pretty nicely in this little train. And yeah, Gasly's pulled away from Vettel, but I'm not too worried about that. Look how much we can catch them up as soon as we get into position, and now we're going to get DRS down this straight, and we're going to get one of them here. I'm pretty sure we're going to get one of them here, and then if we do, we'll then deploy on the next lap, get the tyres back up to standard, and keep pushing. Yeah, as Vettel is just left for absolute dead on this straight, and then we'll charge up in this braking point, and then we're going to deploy and go to standard and go for Daniel as well in the next DRS zone. So it'll be next lap, it should show a difference with those tyres, how we've been conserving them. But yeah, not bad at all. Let's get it into overtake just to see if Alonso prefers that. Zhou has lost 2 seconds to... He's 2 seconds behind Magnussen. Oh, Ricciardo shuts the door there. Very cheeky from Daniel Ricciardo. But Zhou gets Hulkenberg again. I'm going to try and deploy with Zhou to try and get him away. As Daniel Ricciardo is closing Alonso against the wall, but leaves him enough space. Fernando Alonso gets it done. And now, because there's no one in front of you, you just have to deploy and try and get away from Danny Rick there, because we're doing all right. We've gone on to the medium, so we could pit early and just not push them at the end. That is something we could do, but yeah, we need to break that chain to Danny Rick now. At the moment, 0.287 seconds. So hopefully, as we come around these corners and deploy a bit of our battery, it'll allow us to just push away ever so slightly. But we're in a good position. I don't mind this. I don't mind this at all. We're in a DRS battle with Ricciardo and Vettel, who are on worse tyres than us. They're on the same percentage hards. Zhou's in a decent position. It's just going to be all about pit stops. And if somebody... if the people that are running hards now are going to pit again, that's what I'm not sure. If they're doing a one-stop, we'll reel them in on the softs, but I don't know, on the mediums at the end, but I don't know if we'll have enough to make it stick. Is Danny Rick going to make a move here? No, see, Danny Rick doesn't have the power. He doesn't have the power to get away from us, so use all this energy we just charged up and try and pull away, because that's a perfect position to pull away, because they just can't keep up as you deploy out of the corners. And look at that, we're nearly breaking that second already. And I think we're going to get it done, which means we can just drop down into neutral. Come on, where's that next DRS in? I can never remember where it is. It's around here somewhere. You've got to go round the hairpin at the end. 0.997. Come on. Come on, Danny. Just drop off ever so slightly. Get in a battle. There he is. He is. Right, and he's holding up Vettel for us. So we can pop that down into neutral now. The tyres are getting there, but Alonso's pit window opens in a lapse time, as does Zhou. So at the moment, they're pitting at the same time. Yes, they are. That is very stupid of me. We are going to ask Zhou to stay out for one extra lap, just to make sure that the strategies are on point. Alonso up into 10th. Lovely stuff. Yeah, happy. What is everyone's tyres doing? 73, 74, 40, 38, 37. So the leaders are going to pit. Ricciardo's going to pit. Vettel's going to pit. Albon's going to pit. Zhou's going to pit. It's just all about whether Zhou has the pace on those mediums to make a difference. And here come some of the people that went onto hards originally now pitting, as Ricciardo and Vettel are still battling behind us. Zhou does overtake Hulkenberg, which is good. Again, they're still in their little battle. But Stroll's also got past there as well. And Alonso is now getting past some of these people that are pitting. So Ricciardo, Vettel jump in behind us. This is sort of territory now where we need to push, but not 100% sure it's a good idea to push these tyres. 33%. We've got 2 more laps to go. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be very, very interesting how this race ends. Okay, Alonso starting to complain about his tyres. He is coming in on this lap as we're just about to get. So, pit options onto the last set of mediums he has. Pit this lap. I'm really hoping that Zhou... Yeah, he does. He does have another set of softs to go onto. Zhou is on 29%. Oh, is he going to be able to drag them out without an incident? God, I hope so. Right, 26%. We're deploying. We're pushing on fuel. We're going to be much heavier than everyone else at the moment. Norris is slowly catching us up. But I'm going to assume that Norris... I swear all these people are going to have to pit again. Can you get 15 laps out of 65% hard? You probably can. But it's a bold strategy. But we'll see how it is. We made our decision. Zhou overtakes Stroll on absolutely knackered tyres. Lovely stuff, Guanyu Zhou. Lovely, lovely stuff. Right, Alonso. Let's fast forward to his pit stop. So here he comes. He is into the pits to go onto his hard tyres, which his medium tyres, which we can push a little bit till the end, which I'm very happy about. Let's harvest that. You'll be going you'll be going aggressive when you're in. Zhou, I feel like, is going to just potentially go past Alonso here. Lots of other people coming into pit as well. Right, so Zhou does go past. So pit options for Zhou. Onto the softs, pit this lap. Right, Zhou, you've got to nurse those 26% tyres round. Alonso is out and is harvesting at the moment, which I don't mind. But I think as soon as he gets a bit of battery here, we're going to deploy and ask him to full send. Come on, Alonso, son. Come on, Fernando. We've just got to hope that people in front of us are going to pit. Zhou's definitely going to pit. Vettel now won't. Magnussen might. Norris might. Gasly might. Bottas might. Russell might. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. So here comes Zhou into the pit lane. As just going past, you see Alonso battling with Vettel and overtakes Sebastian Vettel very easily. Fernando Alonso there. So back up to 12th, and other people haven't pitted yet. Right, Zhou going onto these soft tyres. Did we say he could push? No, we didn't, but I think we are going to get him to push as soon as he comes out, just for a little while, and see how well he does. So Zhou comes out and he's going to be last, but there is a nice train of cars there, which he's going to get DRS off straight away, which is absolutely wonderful, to be honest. And again, I do think, so 96, 71, 63, Yeah, some of them have got to pit again. Some of them have got to pit again. Right, so at the moment, with 10 laps to go, no one else is pitting in. Zhou is making use of his softer tyre compounds, though, and is making a few moves. He is coming up against a lot of other, or medium runners anyway, even though he's on the softs. But he should, on the softs, be able to cut through them, in theory. In theory. Let's pop him on overtake for a while and just get him to put his foot down to try and make some moves there. Alonso is gaining on Daniel Ricciardo, which is good, but isn't quite back in the points yet. With 9 laps to go, I'm not sure these people are going to pit, which is a proper ball ache. It's just, can these tyres that are a softer compound make a difference? Because everyone in front of Ricciardo is pretty much on the hards. And look how quickly he's just caught up with Ricciardo there. That is insane. We should make easy meat of Daniel Ricciardo. I feel like we should be diving back on board, to be honest, because we could have a good potential position here. Let's get some overtake on and make sure we get this move done on Daniel Ricciardo, who's not going to have a leg to stand on as we come down the start-finish straight. Now it's a case of just pushing and catching Magnussen in front. I don't think we're going to have enough to catch Norris. We may have got the strategy slightly wrong, but we're learning with this update. We are learning to understand how we can make this work. And the fact that we've got the softer compound tyres with much better tread could put us in a good position here. Zhou really needs to make a move at some point as well. How far? Oh, he's very close to Ocon. He's very close to all these people, actually. 73%. We could tell him to push a little bit. 9 laps to go. I think it's more sort of DRS he needs to put ERS he needs to push with to really make something happen. Make sure he gets these moves done, because in front of him, Ocon and Hulkenberg, Stroll's, well, yeah, Stroll's just there. He could, I mean, Zhou could potentially get up to 15th on these soft tyres, so yeah, interesting. Right, Alonso pulling away from Daniel Ricciardo really, really well. Lovely stuff there, and catching K-Mag. He may be going, so Fernando Alonso, lap history, Alonso 132.7. And he's trying to catch K-Mag, who's doing 134. So Alonso's lapping at 2 seconds a lap quicker than K-Mag. So he's definitely going to be in range in this race, which is absolutely epic. Right. Come on, guys. Is Zhou lapping quicker than everyone else as well? So lap history with Zhou, 132.2. And he is chasing down. Who's he chasing down? Ocon, I think. 133. Stroll in front of them, a 133. So yeah, technically both our drivers are driving much quicker than the cars in front of them, which is good to see. I also think we could potentially push Alonso even harder if we need to, but for now we're just gonna stick with it. 8 laps to go. Oh, Alonso is on the charge here. He is now within DRS, and these softer compound tyres do make a difference at the end of the race. Zhou is right on the back of Stroll and Ocon still, but I'm sure he'll make that move happen at some point as he's getting closer and closer every lap, which is really, really good. But Alonso, yeah, he is very much hunting down K-Mag. Norris, I'm not sure we'll get Norris. I don't think there's quite enough time. But yeah, they're doing what we did last time. We went on the hards with Alonso and it completely backfired. You just couldn't pull away from anybody. But right now, Alonso is on a bit of a charge and is doing very, very well. We could push the tyres. I think he's got some range. We're just going to see if he gets this move done here. He's not, but he's going to get it on this start-finish straight and be back up into the points for Aston Martin, which is absolutely lovely. And K-Mag's trying his hardest to defend, but I don't think K-Mag is really going to have a chance. On hard tyres, with our DRS open, we absolutely fly past him, and we are up into the points in 10th place. Lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. Indeed. Alonso's tyres are on course to be a little bit stronger than they would. So let's just go on to attack with those very quickly. I think we're going to pull away from Magnussen pretty easy. How is our man Zhou getting on? Come on, Zhou. You need to make this work, mate. You need to pull away from this group. All 4 of them are there for the taking. All 4 of them are there. You're on your softer tyres. You're on your faster tyres. Should be able to get this done in 4 laps. You really should. Come on, we put a lot of faith in you. 3-year contract we've given you. As Alonso's already broken the 1 second mark to Magnussen, which is awesome. So we could probably actually drop him back down just to make sure he does get to the end without Just his rims on the tarmac. Okay, we're going to deploy with Zhou. We're going to go full send here. I want him to get this done.
If you need it.
I want Zhou to get this done on all 3 of these drivers in front of him. Come on, show Lance Stroll that he's such a knob and he should never have been part of Aston Martin. I know he's got DRS as well, but we can make this work. Gaining, gaining, gaining. Always gaining, Zhou. You just got to have that commitment into a move. Just got to have that commitment into the move. Look at how close we are behind them. We're going to have so much extra pace than them because of the battery we've just deployed. The DRS is open for Stroll, who can't get past Ocon. Yep, your battery's empty. Your battery is empty. We understand that. Come on, put it down. You've got to get one of them on this next start-finish straight. If you have anything left, just deploy it, but I don't think you do. Come on, Zhou. Come on, Zhou. Oh, he just lacks coming out of that corner. Look at them, 3 wide in front of us. I mean, that could end in an accident. Oh, he's really trying. He's really trying to get that done. His tyres are below the threshold of what they need to be as well, so we can't really push him too much. I think Alonso's got 10th place secure. It doesn't look like he's catching Norris, but he is ahead of K-Mag. So I think our highest net position ever was 9th. And so we've dropped 1 from the highest potential finish I think we could have had. But I guess you never really know, and because there could be a safety car at the end, and then we're on softer tyres than most people, and that could make a big bit of a difference. But yeah, 4 laps to go, I think. 4 laps to go, and we're still hoping on Zhou to get this done. Fernando Alonso has just overtaken Lando Norris. He's reeled in that time and caught Fernando, and that shows the power of finishing on a softer compound. Fernando Alonso, that is absolutely incredible. And we've got the DRS, so that is... Oh my god, 4 laps to go. Alonso's up to 9th, and we're not... He's not in any danger. Well, he's in a little bit of danger, but he's not in that much danger of messing this up. We can probably put him into standard, and I think he's going to be fine. I'm more interested in Zhou. We're harvesting, because these guys in front just battle so much that they really can't pull away. So if we can harvest up, and then on the last lap do what we do and just go full send... And hopefully we can make something happen. So yeah, he didn't really attempt an overtake there. It's just everyone braking in front of him. But Alonso up to 9th on the charge. Lovely stuff. I don't think he's going to catch 16 seconds to Gasly, but you never know. Not with 3 laps to go, I don't think so anyway. But yes, charging up lots and lots of battery here, which is absolutely awesome for Guanyu Zhou. Okay, Ocon has come into pit with 3 laps to go. What a bizarre decision that is there. And look at what is going on with Zhou here. We are right up behind them, and we're now going to deploy because we've got loads of battery. 2 laps to go. His tyres should just about make it. It's going to be a bit of touch and go, but yeah, Ocon pitted. What a strange decision that was. He didn't hit his wing. He didn't clip anything. Yeah, I wonder how everyone's tyres are doing. Yeah, you got some 38s up there. It looks like a Red Bull 1-2 is going to be the case. And Zhou, you need to get closer to them in the DRS zones, mate. That's when you need to make this work, okay? Okay, Zhou has got Hulkenberg, and he's now hot on the tail of Lance Stroll. And he's got enough battery to get him through this, I think, as well as Alonso has put a 2.6 second gap to Lando Norris. So this is now the last lap because... Where is Perez? Okay, Perez is technically behind us. So the guys here in this little Zhou battle will have another lap after this one. And yeah, we're in a good position. Fernando Alonso, yeah, up in 9th. He's going to have to do a whole new lap as well. So no one's been lapped in this one, which is interesting. But come on, Guanyu Zhou. You can make this work, mate. You can get this done. Don't worry about Nico behind you. He's a terrible driver. He'll crash and break his wing at some point. So you just make sure that you get past Lance Strolly Stroll. Because you're going to have DRS. So we're going to set you to harvest. So you don't have to deploy any more around here. Because you're going to be going on to your last lap. Oh my god, you might get him here. You may actually get Lance Stroll.
This is his last lap.
Yeah, Alonso on his last lap, on his own, without a care in the world, doing a great job. As, oh, do we just tell Zhou to absolutely gun it now? Because he's going to be... We have to, I think. I think we just have to tell him to do whatever he has to do. to get past Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll's acceleration is ridiculous out of that corner, but we have DRS. Hulkenberg has DRS. It's going to be a race between us and Hulkenberg. Okay, harvest up again. We're going to manage Zhou here as he gets to the final DRS section, although that bloody Haas. Right, Perez crosses the line and Verstappen, sorry, crosses the line and wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. And Zhou is at the moment the last competitor still racing on this track. Right, deploy everything. Go. I'm sort of like, let's aggressively push the tyres. It's the last lap. You're last, mate. You're not last. You're 17th. But yeah, you need to make a move here on Hulkenberg and then get past Stroll. So you've got to make something happen here, Guanyu Zhou. Don't make me be regretting that 3-year contract. I know your tyres are struggling a bit, but you need to make those softs work. You could have a 15th place finish. That's huge. That's massive. We do get a point on the board with Alonso, who is just about to come down the start-finish straight, but I really don't want to take away from this action of watching Guanyu Zhou trying to get a move done here on a Haas and an Alfa Romeo in the same move. I don't know if he's going to do it. It sort of has to be, he has to be right on point. He's not going to do it, is he? He's not going to do it. Alonso finishes, and Zhou nearly goes straight into the back of the Haas, and I think that's going to be enough to get him away. And Zhou. You just need to get used to the parts, I think. A good race, a great race for Alonso. Zhou down in 17th is a bit disappointing though, but yeah, everyone done. Great driving from Alonso there at the end. Really doing really well on the softer compound. Yeah, so Fernando Alonso gains 2 places, which isn't too bad. 2 places from strategy, which is good. Yeah, everyone that did well did a 1-stop. Yeah, Esteban Ocon with a 3-stop, which was strange. We could have pulled out a 1-stop then. Maybe it would have been better. But I still think we did pretty well with Fernando doing a 2-stop there. We did do some really good pushing. And it is 2 points on the board for Aston Martin, which I think is a lot earlier than last season. If we look at best times, Guanyu Zhou 1:32.2 was so much quicker than Nico Hulkenberg, but couldn't make that position stick. A little bit quicker than Lance, quicker than Kevin Magnussen, quicker than Ricciardo, quicker than Albon, quicker than Vettel, quicker than Norris. So Guanyu Zhou's got the pace. He's got the pace. In fact, he went quicker than Alonso. His fastest lap was quicker than Alonso's fast lap. So there is pace in this car. It's just unlocking it. That's what we need to do. Fernando Alonso up into 10th place. Good work from him there. 2 points, which puts him above Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll, who's down here. Guanyu Zhou stays in 17th. Constructors, we're up to 7th. Hooray! Lovely stuff. 6th is the coveted spot, and we find ourselves 1 point behind McLaren, who currently sit in 6th. So a pretty decent race. We've got a bit of news here to go through. So monthly car development report. Yeah, we need to get working on the car. The finances are doing all right. Board confidence. They have a high confidence, which is fine. The post-race, and we exceeded expectations. So generally, if we get a point or 2 points, we exceed expectations, which is absolutely lovely. Right, do we have any development points? Not for Alonso, not for Guanyu Zhou, and Drugovich does have 1. So let's put that into cornering and get, as I said, get all those up as much as we can. I think now, because Alonso has full knowledge of the car parts, we are going to start putting Drugovich into... oh my god, did we? No, yeah, we only got 1 of them. So I didn't put the new chassis on the car. What an idiot. Are we manufacturing? I'd like to think we're manufacturing. We're not in new development. We've got 3. How many of these have we got on the go? Oh, in development 3. Okay, so the next one will be here for Guanyu Zhou. The front wing, we've got both of them on there. The suspension, we have both of them on that car as well. Underfloor. Have we got 2 underfloors installed on car 2? Yes, we do. So Guanyu Zhou can have that as well. Side pods, we don't have any new side pods. Rear wings, we don't have any new rear wings at the moment. And front wing is on both cars. Okay, so both cars are slowly getting there. The other chassis will be built before the next race. But the next race is the Australian Grand Prix. And that is when we'll be back for. So thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.